This is right out front of the table. I'm coming at you with another edition of movie reviews and observations number 246. A little lighter compared to last time. First movie I watched was 2073. It looks like on the cover and based on the description about you're in this post-apocalyptic world about these survivors who are like underground, and they tell you all the situations. And you're just like, okay, cool. It's going to be about this woman who's living underground in this post-apocalyptic future and how they survive. Nope. It just starts bleeding into being a documentary about the reasons why we're going to be in this post-apocalyptic future with politics and wars and this and this and this. And it turned into a boring documentary that would briefly show what this woman is doing in the future. Don't advertise yourself as a sci-fi fiction movie if you want to just become a documentary. Just make a documentary. Don't make like a fictionalized documentary that's trying to tell some sort of point and waste people's time who are trying to watch a science fiction movie. So that was a waste. Then I watched the movie Black Bag with Cate Blanchett, Michael Fassbender, Pierce Brosnan, Regé-Jean Page, whatever his name is, from Bridgerton that people know him from. At least the last time that terrible movie was only 80-something minutes. This one, it was very boring and very slow-paced building up to it. So it's not an action adventure. It is a drama. It is an espionage film where Michael Fassbender is this really good intelligence officer, but apparently they said there's someone leaking, double agent information, and it could be these people, and one of those people could be his wife, Cate Blanchett. And you're like, why would this be his wife? Well, she's also an agent, or she also works for the agency. So the whole movie is Fassbender trying to figure out if it is his wife, if it is all these other people. So you have to pay attention. If you don't pay attention, you're not going to pick up on all the clues that give off who it could be, who it can't be. So overall, it was pretty good. It just took a while to build up, and at least it was a 90-minute movie. It wasn't like a long 2-hour movie where you're like, why is this dragging on? Then I watched the movie Novocaine, which is interesting because you have, in this movie, you have Ray Nicholson, Jack Nicholson's like son, and then you got Jack Quaid, who's like Dennis Quaid's son. So you have these people who are sons of famous people. And the whole movie is Jack Quaid is this boring banker who has a medical condition, who he can't feel pain. So, if he gets hurt, he's never going to know if he's bleeding or cut. Leads him to like his life not being the most fun or social. His parents warn about him. And he pines for this woman. And a bank heist happens. And he decides, do you know what? I had a great night with that woman, and she gets kidnapped in this heist. I can't feel pain. I'm going to go after her and save her. And it's a whole action comedy adventure of him getting hurt and somehow not dying and saving the day, or trying to save the day. And Jacob Batalon is in this movie from Spider-Man, the recent ones. And it's an hour and 40-something minutes. It's stupid sometimes and not as realistic. Like in reality, if this guy didn't feel pain, he probably would have been shot or bled out or something like that. But it was funny, had some adventure to it, and the love interest is a woman I know from Legion, and she was in Roswell, New Mexico, and she's been in some movies here and there, so it's nice to see her in movies, but it's an okay movie. It's not terrible. And I saw the movie Drop, where I never heard of this woman before, Megan Fahey. It's like an hour and a half movie where she goes on a date and she starts getting all these drops on her phone, like file. And then it turns into like there's a video feed of her kid and her sister. And then if she doesn't do what they say, they're going to kill her son and her sister. And I don't really know anyone else in this movie. The only person I recognized was the piano player in the movie because I saw him in LA and Vegas, this British actor. But the whole movie is her trying to not break the rules and figure out ways to save her family. But then she's on like a very awkward first date, and you have to figure out who's the one sending her messages, because apparently you can only send these airdrops when you're close enough by. They're at this really tall restaurant. I think they're in Chicago. Maybe I could be wrong, but it wasn't great. It was okay. And I don't know how many times your sister got stabbed or shot. And I'm like, yeah, she probably should have died. Or the guy on her date. So either way, it was this conspiracy movie because of because she's told to try to kill her date. And it's like really stupid. Like, okay, cool. So it was okay. Then I watched Dogman, and it was an hour and like 18, 19 minutes. So super quick. Kids movie from the minds of, Captain Underpants, and it was made by DreamWorks. The creators of How to Train a Dragon, a Wild Robot. Little Rello's the chief. Pete Davidson's the bad guy. Stephen Root's his father. Ricky Gervais appears in this film. Is officials in this film. And I fell asleep for parts of it, not because it was boring, because I was just tired for some odd reason, despite not working Thursday or having to work yesterday. But it was a quick, easy kids movie where you get, here's what happened. This is what's happening in the movie. Here's the bad guy. You got to stop the bad guy. And then you got to do this, and then that's it. I probably will go back and watch the little parts that I missed. But it was okay. I don't think it was good as Captain Underpants, but it was a well thought out idea for kids to watch this movie about a policeman and his dog somehow being decided they're going to become one person. So, yes. Thanks again for listening to another show of Movie Observation number 246. I will tell you this. I think based on eventually figuring out the espionage Black Bag movie, the Black Bag might have been the best movie that I watched. I feel like Dogman and Novocaine would probably be the other two. I just would say that drop in 2073. Never waste your time watching those. Thanks again for listening. See you guys next time.